So what up, 2K fans? It looks like we've got some new NBA 2K18 screenshots, and in this video I wanted to do a little comparison between real life NBA 2K18 and NBA 2K17. And we want to see that progression, or see if 2K is getting closer to real life or if they're drifting away from it. First up, we've got Isaiah Thomas, and take a look at him in real life. And so now I want you to take a look at him in NBA 2K18 and notice the new Nike jerseys with the General Electric logo on there. A lot of you guys know that big companies plan on advertising on NBA jerseys from now on. And then take a look at NBA 2K17. This is him. It's a screenshot I just took today. And in my personal opinion, I think that NBA 2K17, the detail in his face looks a little better. But there is something that's pretty peculiar about the new graphics in NBA 2K18. I want you to pay close attention to their eyes, or they look like they have a story to tell. It looks like they're a little bit more lifelike. Now I'm gonna show you guys Paul George in real life. This is him this year, 2017. Now this is Paul George in NBA 2K18. I think that he does look a little better, a little bit closer to real life in terms of his beard, in terms of his new look. Let's look at him in NBA 2K17. And if you notice in NBA 2K17, he's got these glassy eyes, very mannequin-like, doesn't look as realistic. But when you look at him in NBA 2K18, his eyes are definitely very determined. Looks like he's on the court with purpose, and it looks like he's looking at something. So I'm not saying that 2K17 was bad, but 2K18, the eyes, maybe not necessarily the bodies or the general look are as detailed in my opinion, but the eyes look very, very realistic. And finally, we have DeMar DeRozan, one of my favorite players, or up and coming favorite players. I watched him in the Drew League this year. A lot of fun watching him compete. And DeMar DeRozan in real life, this is him, and this is him in NBA 2K18. Once again, that facial expression looks very realistic. It looks like he's not necessarily happy about the call. His eyes look very real. Looks like he's almost a real person. There's definitely some improvements in the engine around the realistic facial expressions. NBA 2K18 definitely looks very realistic in these facial expressions, even though these are very little, very minute expressions that you're seeing here and they're not moving. It definitely has a very lifelike appeal to it. Here's DeMar DeRozan in NBA 2K17. And right here, we have somewhat of a facial expression, but he still has those glassy eyes, very, very computer-like, AI-like. The detail in NBA 2K18 definitely has him looking a lot more realistic skin tone. Again, the eyes and the facial expression. And one last thing I wanted to share with you guys, I saw a couple of videos out there people have linked me to. People are asking if, the developers at NBA 2K18, if they're scared of NBA Live 18, where's their gameplay footage? How can we have live and no 2K? And I'm just so shocked, because those are the kind of statements that someone who is not familiar with basketball games or the 2K community would make. You know what I'm saying? We always know that nothing really gets released for the next 2K until roughly 2 weeks before the game's release. So I'm gonna give you guys some dates to hold on to that might get you a little bit closer to when some new information is coming out for 2K18. If you remember, July 31st last year was our first time getting screenshots for NBA 2K17. Now, I'm not saying we're gonna get everything a week early, but it's nice to speculate. August 10th was when we got our first official trailer for NBA 2K17. We might get that a little earlier this year. August 22nd through the 26th is Gamescom this year, and it was last year. And that's when we got our first official NBA 2K17 trailer. So we might have to wait another month before we get some actual trailers for NBA 2K18. And keep in mind, also during that Gamescom week, the 22nd through the 26th, that's when we get that ghetto footage. September 2nd, the 6th, and the 7th is when we got the first features trailers. And we also got the first My Career trailer. So that's more than a month and a half from now. And if you guys remember, the prelude for NBA 2K17 kicked off September 8th last year. I remember it distinctively because I was playing the prelude on Wifey's birthday. And lastly, September 14th was Ronnie 2K and Chris Manning LD2K, their 4-quarter stream of NBA 2K17. So these are some dates that you can kind of hold on to. They won't be exact this year, but it gets you in a ballpark or gets you a little bit closer to when new information for NBA 2K18 should be releasing. So I hope this all made some sense to you guys. As always, smack that like tab and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.